Okay, everyone, and welcome to the weekend market wrap up with myself, Michael Nauss from Stats Edge Trading. What we do each and every weekend, we go through a whole bunch of weekly charts, try to figure out what happened this week, get some idea what happens into next week. Generally, on Wednesday, we go through a midweek where we're looking more at daily charts and doing some assessment there. 2 short weeks in a row, so I just skipped them and put up other content. One was a review of a prop firm that I'm now trading with for futures. The other one was some short form content. So if you're interested in that, again, go there and check that out. If you're missing any of my content, go to statsedgetrading.com. Sign up for the email list there completely for free. I send you the video, I send you some screenshots with it, and a little bit of a write up. Again, completely for free. Don't share the email list. So let's get right into it. Now, starting as always with Bitcoin. So, potential trouble here in Bitcoin land. I definitely don't want to say that this is going to be the end of anything. I think that would be far too soon. But yeah, I never like when I see a little breakout of a nice flag like that and then a quick pullback. And that happened pretty quickly if we go into the daily chart. You can see we had a big pop up there. It's probably even, I think, more dramatic on like a 30-minute or something. Yeah, we had a nice kind of slow push up, and then all of a sudden the rug got pulled. So not what you want to see, but really no damage done on the long-term chart. It doesn't look like this is the end of the world or anything. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more consolidation here for a while. Again, Bitcoin has a very long history of doing absolutely nothing for a long period of time and having these quick spurts out of nowhere, which for me and for most traders are great, which all I do is if I see a level that's forming, that's interesting to me, I put a stop limit out there and with associated stop loss order and take profit and all that kind of stuff. And then I walk away. So I don't mind that Bitcoin trades like this, but you do have to be patient. And sometimes you're going to get kind of whipped around like that, just the way it works. Ethereum, even worse, right? Ethereum didn't recover nearly as much, has 2 weekly wicks up in this area. So if we zoom into a daily chart, you can see it hit that and then sold off, hit it again, sold off, hit it again, sold off. So still underperformance with Ethereum for sure, but holding this anchored view app from all-time highs. If we consolidate here for a little longer and push higher, that's a look that I like there as well. From the crypto front, the only other thing that was interesting to me, need to bring up my other list here, was I think Ripple. No, it was TRX. Just grabbing my notes. Sorry, they didn't update on that screen, so I'm doing it on that screen. TRX USD. Another interesting looking name. You know, we have this potential rounded bottom going on right here. Something like that. Could a cup and handle in Tron TRX and consolidating very nicely up here as well. Right? Not insanely far from all-time highs, but a nice look in Tron. So I was the only one from the crypto side of things that I'm really going to put on a watch list. Actually, before I forget, let me just put TRX USD right on this watch list live so I can keep an eye on it. DXY, so the dollar index we talked about last week, the hammer candle at this support point. I said it looks like it could be a place to bounce. That's what we had. A little bit of a bounce. Again, I don't think we're going to rocket back up into new all-time highs in the dollar. It'll be interesting to see how this support holds. If we do get a little bit of a push up and then a failure, then that is what I'm going to try to time see if I can get it as it's pushing back down. But a little bit of a bounce in the dollar. Most dollar related currencies are looking opposite to this, so I'm not going to spend much time going through those. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen is holding right near highs here. A nice little strong week last week. However, we have, move this down, we have this kind of top right here where if you want to Google Wyckoff distribution, this kind of looks like it, where you have a solid area of resistance. That area gets broken a bit, sells back off, and then rallies again. So if we fail from this zone and start to push lower, then I'm going to be looking at Aussie yen to the short side. Euro pound as well is another one that I'm watching. We came up into this area of resistance or support right here, acted as resistance, bounced, and then this is now an evening star setup where you have a big push up, you have this kind of star pattern doji, and then a push down. That's an evening star pattern, generally considered bearish. So I'll be watching euro pounds for some move next week. And then we have Aussie CAD. Last one I wanted to look at kind of looks like the dollar. So I think the dollar is pushing this mostly. But if I see a push up and then reversal here on Aussie CAD, that's probably going to be the vehicle that I look to take on this one. Last before we go into trade ideas will be the gold. So gold continues to hold above this line right here, which is the prior resistance right there. Another push down, another reversal off that. That's very interesting to me. Going to see if we get a push higher here on gold. Again, I really like the look of this one. This wick is going to be kind of troublesome, but if we can break it through that wick, then there's probably going to be a lot of people short with stop losses up in this area, I would say. So hopefully we get a little bit of a pop that triggers some stops, and then we move from there. So let's go into the weekly charts, and then let's go into SPY. So on the spiders, the S&P 500, we came right up to all-time highs here. I think we had a weekly closing all-time high and a monthly closing all-time highs, and then we reversed a bit. And I see the perma bears already out. Oh my God, it's the end of the world, blah, 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 blah. Right, we had all this move, and we get a little bit of downtick, and everyone's running for the hills. Now, on a short-term basis, I am taking some tactical shorts and things like that, but I wouldn't be shocked if we come back into this kind of 455, 460 area. If we find support there, or even before then, and push higher, that's totally normal, right? We also have the anchored VWAP that's sitting, by the time, if we push down for another couple weeks, by the time we hit there, that will be this area right here. So just like I wouldn't be shocked to see the dollar rally a bit, I wouldn't be shocked to see the SPY sell a little bit. Again, healthy markets move like this. Big push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up, pull back, right? Our jobs as trend traders is to try to either buy these breakouts or to buy the pullbacks. I'm generally one that I try to look for the pullbacks in strong names. SP 500's mega strong. A pullback or a consolidation is not only expected, it's kind of what you want to see here. So now we're into the IWM. So we're going to go into IWM. Just because, so this is the smaller cap ones. This one looks a little bit more damning to me. Just because we have these prior highs right here, and we broke over those prior highs and then reversed back down through them. That's a little bit more worrisome to me on the small caps. I would like to see this area retaken fairly quickly. It's just kind of the way it is. Now, if we look at RSP, however, RSP is large caps, but RSP is large cap equal weighted. So the S&P 500 puts a lot of value on the big names, which a lot of people get mad for some reason. I think it's totally appropriate. You'd want Apple and Google to make more of an impact than, I don't know, what's your smallest S&P 500 name? It makes sense to me. But I always like to look at this from an equal weighted basis, where everything in the S&P 500 has an equal weight to individual securities. This actually looks pretty strong. We had a bounce up. We're pulling back to this level right here. We could bounce from there. So it could be that we're getting this, again, change in leadership, where maybe we're going to have some of the Magnificent Seven or big guys sell off a bit, and we're going to have everything else rally a bit. That's great for us as stock pickers. I'm totally okay with that. The diamond, so this is the Dow. The Dow is looking very interesting, where it didn't have a bad week at all. It had an inside week here with a little bit of a doji. It's showing that at least the industrial average is continuing to show strength through this area. Now, a lot of that is going to be this move in healthcare. Right, so UNH is the largest Dow component. Healthcare is doing well. UNH is doing great. So this makes sense to me as well. Seeing some pickup from the gases, the natural gas and the so natural gas and oil had a little bit of a pickup this week. I'm not going to buy natural gas just yet. I want it to prove itself a little bit more to see if it can kind of deal with this base right here before pushing higher. However, something like oil, I'm a little bit more interested in, where it's come back down to this area of support right here. It's put in a couple hammer candles, bounce from there, pull back and put another hammer candle. So maybe we're starting to see oil and gas kind of firm up a bit. XLF financials still doing well. I've mentioned this a whole bunch. I talk about it all the time. Financials are very important to the overall market. I don't think you have a super rallying market where you have financials suffering. I don't think that's the way that goes at all. So good to see that that's doing fine. Then we have some laggers. China just can't get it going. Looks like it's going to break down through a flat bottom right here. Could kind of move to these lows. Again, it's rotation. It's not a bad thing. And then we have TAN. TAN's the solar ETF. Almost got up to this level right here and just reversed. So things that were weak continue to be weak. I don't think that really surprises anyone. So now we're going to talk about a couple names that I am looking at for next week. So individual stock names for those who trade those instead of just the overall markets. I want to take a look at Bowl, BOWL. So bowling alley of all things is kind of standing out here, and we'll go into, that's the weekly chart. So you can see a nice kind of push up here and a little doji. So some indecision, but I'm more worried about the daily chart where we had this big push up and then a pullback and then a nice looking candle here, kind of a reversal engulfing type candle. So I'm going to put that one on watch. Big short float in this one, 21% short, something that I'm interested in when a massive short name rallies like that. I think that's interesting, is something that I want to trade. We also have NU, so New Skin. This is from our TI Strength Alerts, breaking out here on a closing basis. Nice push up off the lows while everything else selling off, and a nice little break up on new holdings. Last but not least, AMRX. And AMRX just holding really, really high, really, really tight. Nice push up and then kind of bear or bull flag looking look here. So if this continues higher, I want a shot at that one. Again, just anything that's really bucking the trend right now, I like a look at. So that's 3 of the names that I'll be watching going into next week. So thank you all for stopping by. Again, make sure you go to statstouchtraining.com. Sign up for the email list. I have some cool stuff that I'm working on as part of that kind of New Year energy I have that I will release to the people on the watch or on the email list. So make sure you're signing up for that. I have another prop firm review in the pocket. So if you want to see a FX trading firm that I'm trading with currently and how it's reviewed, it's going to be another good review. And then I actually have 2 stinkers that I'm going to talk about. One I think is going to cause some controversy because I hear it talked about pretty well online, but I just had a bit of a snafu with them and it didn't end up well. So I will leak all of those DMs for you guys. It's going to be fun. Now, thank you all for coming by. Have a good day. Get away from the screens.